Hey everyone, Dave here. This video is going to be a very transparent look at my current portfolio as a school teacher. I do not make a lot of money. I'm 33 years old, married with a child on the way, and I currently make 35,000 US dollars per year. I'm a licensed school teacher over here in South Korea, and again, I have a very modest lifestyle. I have some career changes coming up soon, but this video is just going to go over my portfolio, and it's for you other retail investors out there and for you other school teachers out there who are wondering if it's possible and who are wondering what are other school teachers or what are other normal regular Joe Schmoes doing to save money and how are they investing? Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you. And here on the title screen, you can see three different things: Bitcoin, Nvidia, and the Korean flag, and I'm going to go into that in a little depth here. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, contribution amount, okay? I make a school teacher salary of about $35,000 per year in South Korea, okay? Not a whole lot of money. Love the job, but you sure as hell aren't going to become a school teacher for money. All right. And I'm going to be leaving this country soon to go to another country to work in order to earn more. And that's primarily because my wife is pregnant. I have a child on the way, and I need to bump up my income. So we'll go into that later on and maybe a future video. But this is what it is, guys. This is what I make. I contribute between $500 and $1,000 per month. That goes primarily towards Bitcoin. Sometimes I'll put a little more into, or I'll put a little bit into Nvidia, but my Nvidia position started 2 years ago where I was investing heavily into it. But for the past 6 to 8 months, I've been primarily putting my money towards Bitcoin. I think it's going to go to 200K. And for those of you who are just watching and don't know much about Bitcoin, totally fine. But it's just an investment vehicle for me so that my money isn't losing value due to inflation. It's growing. It's like a digital savings account. Okay. So, yes, $500 to $1,000 per month. All right. I'm not going out buying fancy clothes and doing a whole lot of, crazy shit and partying and popping bottles. All right. I'm an introvert. I kind of stick at home. I go out sometimes. My wife and I go out to dinners, every once in a while. We go on vacations. Maybe I'll make a video on budgeting later, but again, this is what I'm doing. All right. In June of 2025, this month, this was actually about 6 days ago on the 1st of June, I put $500 towards Bitcoin. And at that time, one Bitcoin was worth $105,000. All right. It may have gone up or down a little bit since. I haven't checked the price, but that was my contribution on this road to $100,000 as a modest school teacher. This is my current portfolio value, guys. Okay. So I have a similar slide to this in my other monthly portfolio tracker for NVIDIA and Bitcoin, but this road to 100K video is a little different. I'm including another part of my savings, which is my pension fund, and we'll go ahead and get to that in a moment. But right now, my current portfolio value, I have 123 shares of NVIDIA at around $18,000. I have 0.22 Bitcoin at around $23,000. I have my Korean National Pension Fund. All right. So I've been paying into a pension for the last 5 years. A fraction of my paycheck goes towards the national pension. And the agreement is this, is that you pay towards this pension fund. And when you finally decide to leave the country, Korea gives you that money. All right. So you've been paying a little bit, it goes towards the Korean government, but then it's basically a form of savings for foreigners. And me, as a Korean or half Korean American foreigner, all right, I'm not Korean, I'm a US citizen. I've been putting money towards this, and it's currently valued. The Korean National Pension account is at $9,200 something. All right. When I leave this country to go to my new country to work as a school teacher, I'm going to convert this cash into Bitcoin. All right. I'm not going to go buy some bullshit. I'm not going to go on a fancy trip or anything. Totally fine if you want to. But my goal is to get to $100,000. And right now, again, I've been aggressively purchasing Bitcoin because I think it's the one of the greatest forms of savings at this current time. Total portfolio value is at $50,971. So we're a little over halfway there. All right. Last slide here. Now, I show this in a lot of other videos, and for you school teachers or retail investors or people that are just getting started or people who are just curious about what the guy next door is doing, this is what's happening. April of 2024, I had about $8,000. That $8,000 was saved almost a year prior. I saved for 10 or so months just buying NVIDIA shares. All right. Save, invest, whatever. Okay. So I started tracking it then. And during that month, I started purchasing Bitcoin. You're going to see that it goes up significantly here in June. That's because I had a wedding gift. My wife and I got married, and luckily we had some extra money. She did her thing. I said, hey, I'm saving for us. I purchased Bitcoin. And this has basically been the trend ever since. Green marks months where my portfolio went up. Red marks months where my portfolio went down. The only thing about this is that this does not include my national pension fund. I do not have the monthly data for that. I unfortunately was not tracking that month to month. I was only tracking my NVIDIA shares and Bitcoin, basically. So this is where we're at. $41,710 worth of NVIDIA and Bitcoin, but all together with the pension, we're just over 50K. All right. Doing this, guys, is not it. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's not really hard either. It just takes discipline. You have to make sure you are auto paying into whether it's an investment account, whether it's Bitcoin, whatever, a pension, a 401k, whatever it is. You have to make sure it's auto paid into those accounts. Because if not, you're going to see months where the S&P 500 or maybe your favorite stock like Apple is not doing too hot, and you're going to decide not to buy it. You're going to decide to buy something else, or you're going to say, hey, I'm going to skip for the month. Well, you skipped that month, and what happened over that next 30 days is that stock went up. Or Trump's tariff talks improved, and all of a sudden the markets go up, and you lost out. So now you're buying it a little higher. So it's totally fine to buy when low, when it's in the red. But again, if you're not auto paying into it, it's just going to be a little more difficult for you. It's just that psychological factor. So anyways, guys, this is where I'm at with my savings. I'm 33 years old. I got a little bit of a late start. All right. I didn't get any help from my parents. Nothing. I just researched stuff on my own and realized, hey, like no one's going to make me do anything. I got to do it for myself. I got a family. You know, I have to take the initiative here. And hopefully this inspires you guys to do the same. Hopefully this lets you guys know, hey, doesn't matter what your job is, what your profession is, how much you make, you can save money and make your net worth go up. So please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other videos if you're into NVIDIA, Bitcoin, or you're taking in content because you're a new investor, just someone who wants to branch out and get some new ideas. But appreciate you tuning in, and see you next time.